Hey, welcome to another NIKKE video. So I know a lot of you have been waiting for the initial review of XRupee, alright? And this time, we're actually going to show you a lot of things. We'll go over the skill kit, we'll go over the voting results on my channel with about 3,000 voters at the moment, the CN tier list, the JP tier list, two of them actually, and which should give us a very well-rounded answer to XRupee. Of course, my Discords, we've got a lot of people who have tested things as well, posting their reviews, so stay tuned for that, alright? I just want to give a bit of a background. With the previous banner, Laplace-chan, I've said that, you know, when I first released Laplace's review, it wasn't that great. I would say the quality of those videos were, in my opinion, the initial ones were subpar, okay? Because due to how the YouTube algorithm works, I need to get the video out first, right? Which of course will compromise quality because we didn't take Laplace to specific tests like Chatterbox. So I tried to address that problem by obviously doing a more in-depth review after I've got received a lot of user feedback and testing in the actual game in very specific cases. Okay, so as I've said in the last Laplace video, we'll be splitting future reviews into 3 parts. So this is the second part. The first part I've already done before the release of Rupee is to go over her skills and make some form of assessment based on what is out so far, but making 0 recommendations. And in that video, I said her burst is quite unique, the double burst one, but also locking you into running 2 burst ones, and also a 20-second burst 2 may be detrimental in the future, but we'll have to see, alright? And the second video in those series, character review series, is, for example, this one, where I will take the tier list review from all different sites, as well as user feedback in my community, as well as the whales, to determine what her initial assessment looks like, and to make some form of recommendation. Okay, and then lastly, an in-depth review will come out about a week later, or less than a week later, where we tackle how good the unit is after everyone's had a chance to bring her into different game categories. Okay, so this is how I think the best way to go about it in terms of providing accurate and quality assessments without compromising how YouTube works, unfortunately. Okay, and for those of you that are unsure, you should always wait before you pull. If you're free to play and you're not sure, always wait for everyone to test it and give you enough information for you to make an informed feedback. Alright, so I have my XRupee Limit Break 3. I did not call her up because, again, I wanted some testing. And this is her skills. I'm sure most of you know it already. It's also in the in-game client. Basically a self-defense buffing unit with burst gauge, loading speed, boost, so you enter burst a bit faster, and an AoE taunt that provides her with lifesteal for 10 seconds, and also giving reload speed for all allies, and re-enters burst skill stage 1 again. Well, I'll show you what those mean essentially. So let's first of all take a look at how the community at large has rated her according to those 3,000 votes. Of course, you can still vote and see. Again, the majority of you guys don't have her or still waiting for testing results, which I think is very reasonable. All right, very reasonable. Again, you can check the comments. A lot of you are waiting, so I think that's very reasonable. For the rest of you guys, a lot of you put her in S tier and then A tier and B tier. So it seems like she's at least A tier. Okay, and if we look at the CN tier list, so this is the CN tier list. Currently, she's placed at tier 1.5, at the top of tier 1.5, above Volume, Yang, and Mary, but below even the SRN 102. Okay, Noise, Pepper at post-fix, especially post-fix, Pepper is super strong. Noise bug didn't get fixed, so it might be working as intended. Miranda, Emma, and all that stuff at the top, with Rapunzel and Litter as the best S1s. So technically, if you have Rapunzel, according to this tier list, there's no reason for you to run XRupee. Okay, so this is the CN tier list. And if we look at the JP tier list, oh damn, Rupee calls you Oni-chan. Damn. Alright, anyhow, if we look at the JP tier list, Rupee is tier 1 at the moment, and again, they've classified this according to burst, and they put Rupee at the top of tier 1. Alright, just behind Litter and Rapunzel, the 2 tier 0s that were the same here in the CN tier list. So this is the Game Merch one. There's a Kami game one, which I don't really refer to because it's kind of whack in my opinion, but they've put Rupee as SS tier, right behind Litter, above Rapunzel, and they've even added the N102 as well. The Christmas Fairy N102 in SS tier. So I'm not sure 100% what I think of this, but that is the 3 tier list across 2 different regions. Okay, and let's take a look at some of the individual replies. Okay, so I wrote a quick format example for you guys to see how you can report this in my Discord. But basically the general consensus, and it's mostly coming from whales, small dolphins, whales that are around the 15 or 17 stage, and it's the same thing in my Scarlet Guild, who are mostly around in stage 18. Okay, she is not as good as we initially thought. She is not as good as we initially thought. Very, very interesting kit, and I'll show you the double burst, but the problem is the defense buff that she offers is very weak. Okay, because of how the damage formula works, the defense buff is very weak. The lifesteal, after she uses her taunt, is negligent. She doesn't do enough damage for the lifesteal to be worth it at all. Okay, and the reload boost really only affects Scarlet, and it's very difficult to run a team outside of that. So if you don't have Scarlet, it's even more of an easy skip. Okay, I'll leave a link to my Discord so you can always join this, and I'll show you guys the in-game play as well. So this is where I'm stuck right now currently, Fishing-24, and I'll show you the double burst stage 1, and it's got its issues as well. All right, the problem with the double burst stage 1 is there is a 1 second global cooldown. Okay, so if we go to Rupee, and if she is going to burst, because she's placed, look at that cooldown. You guys saw that cooldown, right? Rupee bursts, and there's a 1 second cooldown before Litter can burst. It's not instant at all, and this, I think that even 1 second makes a difference. But also, right now she's under taunt. Okay, she's supposed to hopefully do enough damage to sustain the taunt, but she is just going to die. Look, she took so much damage. The taunt basically kills her instantly. The taunt basically kills her instantly. So, in my honest opinion, right now, Christmas Rupee isn't in that good of a place at the moment. Maybe we'll discover team compositions that work better for her, but currently, she's in a pickle. Because you're forced to run Litter with her, or Volume, and then you're forced to run a 20-second verse 2, most likely Senti or Rupee, but then you don't have a heal or sustain in the team, and she doesn't have enough sustain. Okay, like 270 heal is not enough, and she takes so much focus fire and just dies. All right, the other unit, Ludmilla, that got fixed, okay, the Ludmilla that got fixed, that taunts actually can sustain because she has a huge damage mitigation as part of her kit. So if you're just running Rupee for the gimmick of the extra burst 1 plus Scarlet's reload, as a first limited unit, I don't think this is, you know, SS tier. Okay, maybe A, S tier. More testing needs to be done. We need to find potentially a team comp or a fight, specific fight, that will be helpful for her, just like we did for Laplace Chan, right? But so far, the initial review thoughts, as people have posted, is she's good. But I think it's skippable. But of course, more information to come. Hopefully, we'll get more feedback from you guys, posting either on my channel or my Discord. I'll leave a link down in the description. And let me know your thoughts. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye now.